It was 50 years after the collapse of the intergalactic union. The humans were split up into 30 different factions. Nothing in the colonized universe seemed coherent anymore. You had frequent attacks, intergalactic travelers held hostage for ransom by pirates, either for technologies or for making unimaginable riches and endless energy, for the energy itself, which they store in powerful batteries that charge ships for centuries. The collapse of the Union was triggered by a revolutionary movement. In most of the colonized universe, inhabitable planets adopted new rules forcing civilians to connect their brains to the internet. This also made everyone psychic at will. They could block other people from reading their thoughts and select a network of people they trusted, which could at any time connect their minds and receive information in what appeared in their vision as different windows they could select and enlarge at will. Entire networks of individuals, social media was suddenly accessible at all times. It wasn't long before criminals hacked into people's minds, stealing passwords and codes for bank accounts, as well as hints as to where to locate people's riches. A new generation had grown into adults. They were watched through their own eyes by their parents their whole lives. They hate the internet. Many adults understood this breach of privacy. But many also saw the positive impact becoming psychic had on communities and families. People did become less judgmental, allowing others to think and form coherent thoughts. There is a process of getting used to being psychic, and the first generation learned the hard way, becoming too emotional when hearing or seeing unwanted things from other people's brains. They developed mental illness, paranoia, and fear. That caused a sharp rise in mental illness throughout the entire colonized universe. The Intergalactic Union's Bureau of Health created new rules to accommodate the arrival of such technologies. A child could no longer become psychic at will, and there had to be safety features to prevent hacking. Some criminals would stalk victims and drive them insane, hacking into their minds for weeks trying to retrieve information, torturing their victims. This is what started deteriorating the Union. A whole generation was traumatized. They never got used to it. They were forced into this world, with their minds directly connected to all of civilization. Many planets started adopting psychism, a new ideology forcing everyone to become psychic at all times. They believed it would make them stronger, more evolved, but not being able to turn it off turned many of them absolutely crazy to the point of suicide. Oddly, after a generation or two, the strongest minds did survive, and they despised all the others who died off, calling them weaklings and many other more hurtful terms. They were the first faction to split off from the Union, and they blocked important trade routes, causing mayhem. Entire planets couldn't access important resources. This eventually led to an all-out war against the Psychists, the new telepathic race that evolved from human beings. Anybody could be telepathic thanks to the internet, but this race plugged itself into the entire internet for intergalactic dominance. They were eugenicists who believed only the toughest should survive. Since the Psychists knew too much about the rest of the Union, they decided to shut off the internet for a while during the war. This is what truly devastated the Union. Regular people couldn't instantly converse with people in their networks. They had no clue what was going on. They became paranoid and started thinking something really bad was about to happen, that the Union was hiding something from everyone. This caused the rebellion. It was also quite ironic for the watched generation that despised everything about these technologies. since the technologies they grew such a hate for were suddenly taken away from them. They felt naked and had awoken to a new reality. Everything seemed to be out of hand, completely helpless, and being attacked by both the rebels who wanted their technologies back and the psychists who wanted intergalactic dominance. The Union had no other choice but to reach out for the only one who could possibly bring order back to the colonized cosmos. The only one who knew how to defeat the psychists and convince the rebels we must do without our technologies until the psychists are defeated. He detects pirate ships light years away. He sends out signals which hack their ships and deliver them directly to authorities. He is known as the Cataclysm, the Liger of the Nebulas. He is none other than the Dorphan. The Dorphan. The Dorphan.